and you're watching Pro Teaches News. Ooh, is somebody talking about pros? Not that kind of pro. See you there.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pro Teaches News. Today with me, Pika Shades.
Hey.
And today we're going over an interesting Batman Elseworlds. Batman Detective Number 27. Yes, that's the actual title. And there's a reason behind why it's phrased that way. But yeah, basically the whole premise of this is, what if Batman didn't become what if Bruce Wayne did become Batman, say he became not so much an actual police detective, but one of those pulp novel detectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, like, when young Bruce Wayne is orphaned by street violence in the 1920s Gotham City, the young millionaire has no idea that the heinous crime is just part of a conspiracy dating back to the Lincoln assassination. An insidious conspiracy that can only be stopped if he becomes the newest member of a secret society of crime fighters. One whose members are each known by number only. The 26 detectives preceding him. A roster includes such real-life heroes as lawmen Alan Pinkerton and Teddy Roosevelt. Bruce Wayne becomes not a Batman, but a different kind of legend. Detective number 27. In this yeah. But how's that sound?
Yeah, 20s, you say.
Well, 19. Well, to be fair, that would make sense when for Bruce's parents had gotten shot, for him to then eventually become Batman in 1939.
Okay, that makes better sense than the other. Imagine if it was like a Spinelli crime novel, like it's set in 60s or 70s, or actually be like a dirty Harry genre book.
No, we're talking more like The Shadow and Crimson Avenger.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Yep. Oh, look at that cover. 75-year-old plan to terrorize Gotham City. 26 of the world's greatest detectives perform. Oh, hold on, doorbell.
Huh.
Gotta be sure to remove that part.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Actually, do remember to edit these parts out.
I do. Hey, this one I will. At least whenever I get off the camera, I do edit that. Or at least I try to remember to do that.
Yeah.
It's 1939, and Bruce Wayne, detective number 27, must confront a horror worse than witnessing his parents' murder. To save the day, Bruce Wayne must seize the night. Carpe Knox! It is written by Michael Uslan, the guy who owns the Batman movie rights still.
Yeah. Now that is a nice, cozy job that he managed to grab for himself.
Oh yeah, definitely. It basically has it for life. What?
Okay.
April 1865, Washington, D.C. From the ashes of Atlanta to the blood-soaked blades of Gettysburg's grip. From Appomattox Courthouse to Ford Theater, the air is thick with fear. Calm yourself, Mr. Pinkerton. The last I need is to be the death of you. We've known each other too long to mince words, Mr. President. I will not have you go into the Ford Theater tonight. Right. The address is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, but Northerners simply refer to it as the President's house. Don't you tell my husband what he is or is not to do, sir. He is your president, and I say we are attending the theater tonight. Calm down, mother. He means well. Calm down, mother. He means well. Hey, you brought me to Washington to form a secret service to handle your security. After you swore the assassination attempt on me in 1861, who else would I trust with my life, Alan? Then hear me now. The Secret Service has no jurisdiction over Washington City security. I don't want you about town without our protection. Poppycock! I will not be denied an evening of theater by you or anyone. Do you hear me, sir? If not, perhaps then if I scream, aye! That's quite enough, mother. My decision is made. We go to the theater tonight. Maybe if a few of my best pinks slip into the theater to keep an extra eye on, we are missing the curtain. And I hold you irresponsible, Mr. Pinkerton. I appreciate your concern, Alan, but I'll be fine. We cannot live in fear. Uh-oh.
And that happens.
Sic semper tyrannis! Yet one more moment of man's inhumanity towards man frozen in time. Later in the dim gaslight of the president's office, a solitary figure mourns for his friend and for what might have been. I like that already!
Joo.
I don't know that guy was real. You keep talking. Yeah, you keep talking.
Alan Pinkerton, isn't?
Yeah, he was an abolitionist, a detective, and a spy, known for Pinkerton National Detective Agency.
Yeah, those guys were a thing.
He claimed, and his claim to have foiled a plot attempt in 1861.
Yeah, and even I think one of Hawkman's reincarnations was also a Pinkerton agent.
Yeah, I like that. I do like how he's utilizing real life stuff here. I don't know if he was the founder of the Secret Service, but still. April 1929, Gotham City. An evening of swashbuckling celluloid, followed by a stroll home through Park Row, as a boy's excitement evaporates into a cloud of confusion, and confusion condensed into fear. Extra, extra! Read all about it! Lincoln's desk and chair bought by Henry Ford, which is true. It was bought by Henry Ford and would appear in the Henry Ford Museum.
Yeah,
it's still there to this day. I've seen it.
Yeah. If I ever visit US by some miracle someday,
you should come to Michigan and check out the Henry Ford Museum.
Yeah. If I can save enough by then.
Look how this neighborhood's deteriorating, Tom. Somebody should do something about it. It's a crime. I'll make some calls, send some checks. Aren't you glad I made you see this movie tonight? Wasn't it the cat's meow? Tom, there's someone following us. Uh-oh.
Oh.
And look how different. He gets shot and she gets shot in the head.
You. And there's more than just one guy.
Yep.
This is clearly Uslan from the 89 movie.
Tell me, kid, you ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?
Just when I said it.
Yep. And in the dim light of the lamppost on Park Row, a solitary figure mourns for his parents and for what might have been. One moment, 2 bullets, 1 tragedy, 2 deaths, and 1 life is altered forever. It will be wonderful, Master Bruce. Think how lucky you are to be going off to the most specialized private schools in Europe and Asia. Lucky? Need help, sir? What we need is a small army. The lad's going abroad for 10 years. We have a virtual caravan of trunks to board. Keep a stiff upper lip, young man. As my mom used to tell me, time heals all wounds, and wounds all heals. Always remember, you are Dr. Thomas Wang's son. Carry on and honor him and your sainted mother by the choices you make in life. I'll learn from all of them, all over the world, and then I'll be back to do what I need to do. I love the artwork here. It's simple, yet very good.
Yeah, art like this is kind of hard to balance these days because you need to do enough and not too much.
Yeah, keep it simple but not toony. Yeah, you have your papers and your money. When the Marcinani docks in Liverpool, like, I know, your detective friend from Scotland Yard will meet me and drive me to the school in London, Oxford, whatever. And keep in mind, your father's service chum from the World War will accompany you to the Orient when you, I know, and write me each and every day, young man. I will. Don't forget to, I won't. Life, a series of unfolding events strung together by a seemingly endless position of goodbyes. And now we're jumping back. April 1865, Georgetown, Washington. At 7:22 on the morning of April 15th, Secretary of War Edwin Stanton observed the last breath of President Abraham Lincoln and declared, now he belongs to the ages. Gentlemen, it is confirmed. Abraham Lincoln is dead. The same night, Professor Joshua Carr was making a very different and disturbing proclamation within the confines of the bell tower in the College of Georgetown. Hallelujah! Praise the Lord! And Mr. Booth, finally the time has come for the Knights of the Golden Circle. Thus far, we have been foiled at every turn by the inseparable yet skilled Alan Pinkerton, first by the so-called private eyes of its detective agency, and then by the agents of its Secret Service. 4 years ago, he blocked our assassination attempt on Lincoln in Baltimore. Just recently exposed our plan to free 8,000 Confederate prisoners of war. But our doomsday plot, planned 1 year ago, has now taken root. The Knights of the Golden Circle will smite one of the North's great cities, paralyzing its people with unprecedented fear. Our sacred mission will take many years and many sacrifices, but for the Northerner aggressors, Armageddon begins today. The manuscript is the reason I have poured our financial resources into securing the loyalty and service of the South's most brilliant botanists, research scientists, and doctors. With Confederate money having become valueless, men have become desperate. Desperation supplants principle and honor. Without principle and honor, the hearts and minds of men may be bought by gold. Our gold! This unpublished work by an obscure Austrian monk is the key to our success if we exhibit the patience of Job. Our late president's experiment in plant hybridization by Gregor Mendel. Hold on. Let me check if that's a real person. Yep, real guy.
Huh.
Our late president's favorite book. Tonight, with a delicious dash of irony, it becomes yet another weapon in our reign of terror against the enemy. And so, inspired by Joe Miller, the king of jokers and riddlers, I pose the question the North will one day be forced to ask. Have you ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight?
Joo.
So that's so they're kind of making it be a mantra.
Huh.
Interesting.
Oi, että.
But yeah, 1939, New Year's Day, Gotham City's Roosevelt Field. A Pan Am clipper arrived from the Orient, bringing a changed boy back to his very changed home. 10 years of perfect marks in criminology. Every science, language, business, engineering, personal fitness, boxing, even Oriental fighting techniques, automotive repair, meditation, costume design, and prop making. All that's missing is career counseling. No focus at all. I simply must chide the lad for wasting time learning parlor tricks from Dr. Wade's old war chum in the Orient. Clouding men's minds indeed. Alfred! Master Bruce! My, oh my, it is! In some car. When we get this baby? We did not. I did. My very first automobile. That's great, Alfred. I'm glad my father left you enough money to handle all your needs. Actually, Master Bruce, I purchased this with my own money. I've earned a tidy sum since you've been abroad. Guess I should have kept up more with our correspondence. I'm not the great communicator my mother always was. You still think of them often? Not a day goes by I haven't thought of my mom, my dad, and that night. Home at last, Master Bruce. Welcome back, MD Alfred. What's cooked was the sign? Well, had you read all my letters, you would know that with all these years and no family to attend to, I enrolled at Gotham City Medical School. And you got in just like that? Thank goodness you shipped all your trunks. And to answer your rather impertinent question, having a connection to the doctor who bequeaths millions of dollars to the school upon his death may have been helpful. I heard they used my father's money to turn the place into the most technologically advanced hospital and research facility in the country. That true, Dr. Pennyworth? Quite. I specialize in forensic medicine, thinking that when you came home, I could assist you if you were still determined to. I feel their presence here, Alfred. It still just hurts so much, and I don't even know how to avenge them. What am I going to do? What will my dad tell me? I think he'd tell you we're two men changed forever by one tragedy. That he might quote Emerson. What lies behind us, what lies before us, are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Back in 1865, today is lost, but in 34 years we will emerge victors. Survival of the fittest. In the year 1939, the Knights of the Golden Circle will be the fittest. The South will rise again. 34 years? Are you insane? You think our army can rise again any faster? Gentlemen, our goal has brought us the service of the underappreciated genius who first realized the concept of survival of the fittest, the British naturalist Charles Darwin. And now, one more surprise. This evening, I received proof that Charles Darwin is, as we speak, encompassed in the debate in London over natural selection. Apparently, there are 2 Charles Darwins, and I have naturally selected this one to die. And who else could infiltrate our organization time and time again but Alan Pinkerton? Whoops! Who shall now join his friend Mr. Lincoln in hell. The only scallywags joining the hell this night are Booth and you, and Joshua Carr. Bang! How? Stop Pinkerton! Well, the joke's on Mr. Pinkerton. He's corner professor. What do we do with the private eye? The answer may be found in scripture. If thine eye offends thee, pluck it out. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Hello, boys. Better drop your little playthings before y'all hurt yourself. Do it now in the name of the United States Secret Service. A girl, some lady agent's gonna threaten us. That's no lady. That's Kate Warren, my best agent. If I were you, I'd do as she say. Bang, bang! Bang, 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 bang! Hold your fire! And the more of them left alive, the better our chance to learn their plans. Kate, William, and William up here. He's heading for the bell tower. The bells, the bells, the bells. What's he doing? Quoting Edgar Allan Poe. Didn't he write the pit on the boom? Stay down. I'll get him. And just how did that Poe tale end? Don't ask. Professor Carr, it's over. Over? Of course it's over. Mr. Pinkerton, surely you comprehend that it matters not if you shoot me dead on the spot. I've already won. Won? If you believe the blood of Abraham Lincoln on your hands means nothing, it means nothing. Oh, I see on the cake, perhaps. Bam, 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 bam! What an army could not do, the Knights of the Golden Circle shall. And 74 years of waiting will be a small price to pay for ultimate victory. The plan has been set in motion, and the motion is now irreversible. Don't be ridiculous, man. You, me, and all our children will be lying in dust in 74 years. True, some doctor or professor not yet born will trigger doomsday for the North in 1939, and I will not be alive to witness it. But no longer is this about my life. It's about my legacy, my lasting legacy. So shoot me, Mr. Pinkerton. I am now more vulnerable to my cause as a martyr than as a leader. I've developed new scientific method of extracting the truth from the likes of you, Professor. You're far more valuable to me alive than dead. I'll not make a martyr of you. Drop your pistol. You can't kill us all. No, only one. Blam! Dang!
Oof.
But yeah, they're heading back and, of course, alerting and helping Alan Pinkerton, his son William, and his 8th private eye, Kate Warren, prove the Pinkerton National Detective Agency model to be painfully true. We never sleep. Someday they'll invent a comfortable train, but since they're killing me by depriving me of a chance for even a catnap, I'll not live to see it. Father, you're still the spryest 64-year-old man I've ever known, which accounts for your success against the likes of Jesse James, Butch Cassidy, and the Sundance Kid. Far be it from me to interrupt the familial fawning, but we appear to be arriving at Grand Central Depot, gentlemen. Keep an eye out for him. He's 26 short, rugged yet bespectacled. Hardly the sort of ally we need. How can a short New York State Assemblyman who chairs a committee on cities possibly be qualified as Mr. Pinkerton? And I know you anywhere, sir. I'm your foremost admirer. Theodore Roosevelt at your service. Oh. My colleagues call me Teddy. Allow me to introduce my 2 best agents, the widow, Mrs. Warren, and my son, William. And we come on a matter of grave importance. Bully, I'm game. I've arranged a handsome cab to whisk us off to the Pier 90 while you fill me in the particulars you alluded to in your cables. As I wrote to you, the Knights of the Golden Circle continue doling out gifts of fortune to recruit new professors and doctors to their malevolent causes. Unless we recruit the best detective minds to expose them and oppose them, one of our cities is doomed. Washington, Gotham, or New York. Are you speaking as the Pinks or as the Secret Service, sir? Who seeks my service? Neither. We're the Secret Society of Detectives, and we need you, Teddy. At that huge torch in Madison Square. Once we raise enough money, it'll top France's Statue of Liberty, enlightening the world and the harbor. We know Mendel's papers gave birth to that doomsday plot, but what could possibly take 75 years to metamorphosize into an unstoppable weapon of deadly fear? Some scientific or medical Frankenstein, some uncontrollable new plague. 57th Street, my home is just. Our years of sleuthing have led us to plant toxins. That's why the Knights of the Golden Circle continue recruiting botanists among others. And here's Central Park's polo ground. The polo team moved on to greener pastures, leaving this to our baseball club, the New York Metropolitans. Quite thrilling. Try to hold Teddy. This plot may yet topple a city, and I hardly think baseball will give us a clue how to stop it. So if I may have your undivided attention, with all due respect, Mr. Pinkerton, you fail to deserve my undivided attention, having proved me with no explanation of who or what a secret society detective. Sounds like an old sleuth's dime novel. To protect its members and preserve its anonymity, the secret society detective gives each initiate a number and takes away his name. And so, in all society correspondence contact, I'm simply Detective 1, Kate Detective 2, and William Detective 3. Well, if it's secrecy you desire, you may want to lower your voice. In this part of the city, better for a man notable means to walk softly and keep his wallet. I formed this unit to counter the Knights of the Golden Circle. Even should it take the full 75 years to expose its plots and corral its growing membership. Each detective we recruit must be the best, and as with all my pinks, be uncorruptible, uncompromising, and never sleep on the job. Walk softly, huh? And carry a big stick. Ha! As I was saying, I don't want mere detectives in the organization. I want thinkers and innovators of crime-solving techniques. Men like me. I originated mugshots, crime files, and isolated the modus operandi as a marker to identify a suspect. There was me, Patrick. And how are Marion and the girls? Just dandy, Mr. Roosevelt, and a good day to you too, sir. And by examining the crime of a scene of a crime, I can determine the perpetrator as well as the disposition of his ill-gotten gains. Gregor Mendel's cabin is on B-deck. At least that's what I paid for. And we appreciate the contribution from your city fund, Teddy. This affair, after all, concerns the very safety of New York. We're set in Washington and gossip, but need a key operative in New York. Your tender age doesn't scare me, Teddy, as word is your sights are already set on the city's police commissioner job. You're a man of action as well as thought. You understand police work. You can be New York's very own Alan Pinkerton. I'm truly humbled. You think almost as much as me as you do of yourself. Your city and country needs you. Thus, the secret society detective needs you. Will you become our detective number 4? What do you think of this backstory?
It is well thought out and built up with some good building blocks, rooted in historical fiction.
They're building
I would say historical realism, but historical fiction.
Mm-hmm. This cave was always the keenest thing on the estate, Alfred. It just used to be, I don't know, bigger. When flowers finally unfold to fulfill their potential, when the young people pause to ponder their future, and when one person resigns himself to his dark fate as it may be. Perhaps, Master Bruce, that was so because you were a child the last time you played out here, and the cave and all its bats were bigger to you. This is perfect. It's a safe, secure spot for all my chemicals and explosives. I could even rig lights and a Jenny and make it a full crime lab. Yes, but a crime lab for whom? A policeman, a private eye, FBI, Secret Service? No way. I haven't traveled the world perfecting my skills for a decade just to take order from some bureaucrat or follow someone else's rules. I'm going out on my own, and I'll need complete anonymity. A disguise or a mask? Both. Don't tell me you're thinking of becoming some mystery man like that Crimson Avenger bloke. He's a deranged vigilante who thinks he's the Scarlet Pimpernel. I don't know what I'm thinking yet, Alfred. What do you think my dad would tell me to do? A question I've anticipated for years. I believe he'd give you this. Does the name Mr. Freeze mean anything to you? Ha! Haven't heard that name since you were a tyke. He was your father's favorite poet, remember? Ha! Oh, it's Robert Frost! I always asked him to read the poem by Mr. Freeze. I never could get his name straight. Mr. Frost. Robert Frost. No kidding. Okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
It was a kid nickname.
Fun. Yeah, that's good subversion.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
Hmm.
2 roads diverge in a yellow wood. Oh, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler along I stood, and looked down at one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. So as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same, and both the morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden and black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I could ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. That's where the famous "the road less traveled" came from.
Oh.
It's like my father was speaking to me from beyond the grave. I know exactly what to do, starting with a trip to the bank. The bank? But why would... what? How can my family's cash reserve be so depleted? Who sold off the stock? Who cashed the bond? Please calm yourself, Mr. Rain. Dr. Pennywise had to cover your rather exorbitant tuition and living expenses while you were abroad so long. Exorbitant? Are you serious? The remainder of the estate was left to the Gotham City Medical School. Something doesn't add up. Is it possible that Alfred's car, med school bills, new office? No, I have to trust someone. You don't believe there was any financial impropriety by the bank, do you? Say, how about a steak, Alfred? I've been dreaming of one the last 3 years. Extra, extra, read all about it. Crimson Adventure strikes again. Extra. And here's a dime, kid. Keep the change. Wow, thanks, mister. Absurd. He dresses like your old movie hero, Zorro. Although it does say he exposed a nest of fifth columnists and broke up a Bund meeting. I plan on doing better. How? Following your father's advice? No. Teddy Roosevelt's. Gregor Mendel. I'm Mr. Pinkerton. This is Mr. Roosevelt, whose correspondent was you. Welcome to America. Thank you. But as I've explained in my letter, I have little to offer. Please, let us be the judge of that, brother. As I wrote, I never heard of Professor Carr or his knights. However, in 1864, one copy of my work in progress was indeed purloined. How in blazes could Carr have known of your cross-breeding research conducted inside an Austrian monastery? Tragically, Mr. Pinkerton, even a monastery is not free of sin. Uh-oh, look behind him!
Yeah, I
Worse,
see.
the evidence you sent me proves this plot is predicated upon 75 years of crossbreeding, particularly poisonous plants, magnifying their toxins to unknown levels. Yet, lacking a delivery system sufficient to spread the toxins to large urban crowds, this plot will fail. Unless you don't think they already possess one, do you? Ambush, Teddy! We need assistance fast! Come on, lads, break some heads if you need to. There's no riot, and there'll be no riots in our city. There, the culprit behind this. Saint preserve us. What is it? Ah, get away from me! No! The pain! Alan! The wave of utter fear. It's gone. As is that hell spawn. I fear, Mr. Pinkerton, that was a spawn not of hell, but a man of science. Oh, Jekyll and Hyde! That's Hyde!
Oh, huh.
Doesn't that look like Hyde?
I'm trying to think which Hyde to go with, because
the original Hyde, the original. Think about the original black and white movie.
Okay. For some reason, the first thing I would think about Hyde it goes to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No, not the Hulk is Hyde.
Yeah, not that one, but still, yeah, you're right.
The police question your stance, brother Gregor. Their leader was a Mr. Hyde, who has a possible connection to Dr. Henry Jekyll. Does either name mean anything to you? Both are unfamiliar, Mr. Roosevelt. I haven't had a steak in 13 years. And I can guarantee you never had a steak like this one. You too, Pinkerton. They're $1 each. Wow, back then that was a lot.
Yeah.
Back when a newspaper was a nickel.
Yeah. And I remember my father once told me that you could get 100 gummy bears with just a penny.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Your lobster in Winburg looks scrumptious. What?
Hei, mä soitan sulle kohta uudelleen, mulla on nauhoitus menee paraikaan. Ei paljon, niin oli jotain vaan.
What? I muted your audio.
Yeah, sorry. Call my dad. Tried to call my dad earlier today, and now he.
Now he calls. Now he calls.
Yeah.
Like not now. The King William are out back there. Hyde's near presence caused such experience abject fear. My theory is that he was armed or perhaps coated in an extract of datura. Datura? In Chicago, we call it devil's thorn. Very good, Mr. Pinkerton. And the plant blossoms only at night and is pollinated by bats. Its flowers, leaves, and seeds are poisonous to humans. That may explain Hyde's bizarre appearance. And it's the doomsday plot you sent me on file. If datura was crossbred for 75 generations with an airborne spore from MX spinosa polyglycine, English please, devil's backbone. Aha. Go on, brother. Its toxicity would reach a level of complete purity. Unleashed on urban population somehow, the death toll would be staggering, and the citywide effects would be crippling. Holy mother of God. So this was Joshua's and Kara's plan all along. The steak is delicious. The hallucinogenic effects of the combined devils would include extreme paranoia, panic, inducing uncontrollable fear of the populace, end of civilized living, end of a city. This is a breakthrough we've been seeking, gentlemen. Unfortunately, I have other pressing duties tonight. New York's finance will see you to your lodgings at the Dakota. We'll resume our efforts at 8 o'clock in my office. By then, I hope the police will have both Hyde and Dr. Jekyll in custody. Any progress? I think between Brother Gregor and your boss, this case may be cracked by tomorrow. Did you two have dinner? You don't want to miss the food here. The chef Johnny came out and offered us to cook us steaks. My mouth is already watering. The chef is Charles, not Johnny. 260 graying hair, 150 blonde, southern accent. The kitchen, quickly! Oh God, that's Chef and Charles, I presume, and he's Charles Monchio, the owner. And I guarantee it was no heart attack that did it either of them. Mendo was right. It's got to be datura. What about my father? Father, no! My God, we failed them. Damn, I'll get the police after the killer William described. And it's ungodly. It's ungodly. Summon your forensic pathologist to. No, really, no, it was a multiple murder. Better to let their deaths be announced as natural. That will keep the knights wallowing in uncertainty while we hunt them down. How do we do that, Daddy? Look at them. We simply leave the chef here. He was stricken at work, yes? And we carried Delmonico to his private quarters upstairs, where coincidentally he succumbed the same night. Then we secretly placed Mendo's body on the next steamship home. The steward was to be dead in his sleep. And my father, a death by natural causes on board a Pullman car to Chicago. Teddy, there's Ray on my father's napkin, and on Mendo's too. Did you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? We need more recruits, and time is running out. God help us. Dang!
Cool.
So we had to leave. So yeah, boy, didn't see that coming, did ya?
No, that came like a.
But it made sense.
Kind of shock. Go back to the what? How did Roosevelt survive? Let's go to.
He didn't went in there to eat. He didn't stay to eat. He had to leave.
Huh. Just. Cheap meals.
Yeah. That wasn't the steak. He ate something else.
Hmm.
Like, it looks like he was,
kind of the airplay, the airplane reference. I just realized fish or the orb, or the others, but or fish steak. I had lasagna.
But yeah, like Carl Sandburg wrote about Chicago, but tragically his words also described Gotham in May 1939. Of my city, the worst that men will ever say is this: it took little children away from the sun and the dew and the glimmers that play in the grass under the great sky and reckless rain. I gotta say, I really do like Uslan clearly did a lot of studying, but this does but it flows organically. It doesn't feel like a step like, oh, I'm gonna showcase it. No, he makes it work.
Yeah, kind of considering how far we have gone so far with it.
And we still got ways to go.
Okay.
But yeah. That study, first room here, that doesn't feel smaller now. Was it really a lifetime ago I played under the desk? I'm obsessing about Alfred. Can't help it. He had the authority to draw down funds he claimed he needed to pay my expenses. Even if Alfred diverted those funds to himself, Dad's estate has still left me incredibly wealthy, beyond all my dreams. I'm ready to do what I have to do. But first, I must have a disguise. Criminals are superstitious and cowardly lot. So my disguise must be able to strike terror into the heart. I must be a creature of the night. Black, terrible, a ding dong, coming, crack, stupid bird. He didn't know the bat.
Kind of different because in some versions the bat flies in, but then Frank Miller made it that it flies through the window.
Yeah, but in this case, it didn't even make it that far. Hello, Alfred. Mr. Travis, it's been ages. Very nice to meet you. Master Bruce, do you remember your father's friend, Lee Travis? Mr. Dave and Travis.
I'm closing the window.
What was that? Oh, yeah, close the window. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Travis publishes the Daily Globe Leader. All the news that's left the print. The Gotham's leading liberal newspaper. Selling subscriptions door to door, Mr. Travis. I wish there was a time for levity, Bruce, but I need to speak to you privately. It's a matter of grave urgency. But yeah, so from this point, he's never going to become Batman. A simple door knock or a doorbell. A simple doorbell, and Batman never comes across. Mr. Travis publicized your father's charitable work in building equipment and equipping the Gotham City Medical School. I'm sorry, Alfred, but I must talk to Bruce alone. Unfortunately, I've just returned home after 10 years abroad, Mr. Travis. It may not be very helpful to you. It's Lee, and I know exactly where you've been since 1929. You what? I don't follow. In 1864, a subversive Confederate group, the Knights of the Golden Circle, set in motion a doomsday plan that would destroy a northern city in 1939. Alan Pinkerton himself formed a secret society detective to recruit the world's greatest sleuths to foil the Knights throughout the year. But time has run out. We desperately need you to join us. So yeah, he's been blindfolded and taken over there. Anonymity is our security, Bruce. Every member has been assigned a number since Pinkerton first became detective number 1. Sorry about the blindfold. It's okay. Blind as a bat works for me. Are we there yet? Yes, you're there. The Secret Society of Detectives welcomes you, Bruce Wayne. That's my teacher from the Orient. And I knew you'd have to be brought here before you believe me. Then you really did shadow me all and while I was abroad for 10 years. But why? Shadow you? Hardly. We chose you, Bruce, when you were 12. The society arranged your education. We decided that with the right training, you could grow up to become the detective most capable of breaking this case. What? You manipulate me? Orchestrate my life without my knowledge? Impossible! And why? Who can make such a critical judgment about a young boy? Who would know so much about me that? Oh my God. Alfred! We prefer detective number 25. And yes, the butler did it. I've always wanted to say that. You must understand, I had your best interests at heart. I knew that at only 12, you were already committed to your mission. No one else on Earth understood you, had insight into your nightmare, your obsession. I saw your childhood sacrifice on the altar of blood-stained concrete. And maybe, just maybe, packing me out for 10 years opened a clear path to my father's fortune for you and your Justice Society here.
Oh.
Secret society. Whatever. So you can contact Lee Travis and these boys plan what I would and wouldn't learn. How wonderfully niche sounds like the hooey I heard while studying in Berlin. Your emotions overrule the more obvious deduction, Bruce. Alfred brought me into the society, not vice versa. I'm detective number 26. Alfred Pennyworth has been a master detective for Scotland Yard since the Great War. Alfred? What? As Mr. Travis explained en route, the Secret Society monitors any doctors, professors, or botanists showing a sudden rise in personal wealth, a possible sign of recruitment by the Knights. What could that possibly have to do with? Dr. Thomas Wayne's fortune automatically made him a suspect. I was sent to Gotham to determine the source of his money. Who the hell are you? I no longer have a clue. You infiltrate my family to spy on my father, a man who considered you a friend and provided you in his will. All my dad was guilty of was philanthropy. He gave his money to the med school, not the Knights. The only one dishonest was you. My feelings for you and your parents were genuine. I uncovered no evidence against Thomas Wayne and was about to confess my identity to him when none of this matters. The doomsday plot is a lot more important than your family spat. So let's cut to the chase, Wayne. We need your help. You in or not? You picked the wrong guy. You picked the wrong guy to be your trained monkey. That said, I bid you all good night and warn you that I'll flatten anyone who tries to stop me from leaving. The Crimson Avenger can't leave, Wayne. Not if you give a damn about your city or your vow. The 2 new deaths by possible plant toxin Gaza means the Knights are conducting their final test. And you care about the city? And that's why the Crimson Avenger became detective number 26, Mr. Travis? You know, you're better than your teachers indicated. It's easy. The society is composite of the world's greatest detective, not the world's greatest newspaper publishers. Ergo, Lee Travis is secretly a stellar detective. And logic dictated the rest. Bravo. Please, Bruce, join me. I still have to worry about Alfred, his role here. If the Knights have recruited him to their cause, I was his responsibility until 21. Whatever he's become, he's my responsibility. Count me in. Is there a secret handshake or the Dakota ring? Not even a cape. Welcome to the Secret Society, Detective 27. So what do you think of that so far?
Interesting.
So yeah, for the whole first act, it's for one, it played organically, jumped when it needed to, and I gotta say, this whole idea is very good. It's pretty original, wouldn't you say?
Yes. It also kind of makes a kind of interesting alternate version of the story where the bat that if Travis came on, the leader came in later, and the bat did fly in, so he would be like both doing both too, also.
Mm-hmm. And this whole idea of the secret society of detectives, I like it. Here's a pretty comprehensive history of the Knights of the Golden Circle, Alfred. Shh! They seduced many men of science to their dark side. Truly, as my mom used to say, money is the root of all evil. Shh! Oh, shush yourself! You sound like a common radiator.
Yeah.
That is perfect for Alfred to say, isn't it? Like, oh, shush yourself. Oh, 1 second. Is that a good number?
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, and deep below the cave, basically, they're making the lab and everything. What do you think about Alfred becoming a forensic scientist?
Well, it's a questionable thing also when you think about what was Alfred doing or what kind of life was he having while Bruce usually is doing his training abroad.
Well, we get an answer here.
Yeah, this is one answer to that question, but there are also the other versions. I think Scott Snyder made it so that
he was a spy before him. He was the first partner.
Yeah, and in Scott Snyder's Batman run, he made it so that it was Alfred's father, who was the family butler when Ruth was still a child, and he was killed by the Court of Owls, and then when that happened, Ruth happened.
And you try to tell him, don't do this, don't come to the wings, but he never got the letter.
Yeah, and that's how Alfred got there.
Yep, I can't tell whose side he's really on. I do like that as well. You make you wonder, wait, but he never found anything about Thomas, so whose side is he really on? I do like that, you know?
Yep.
Like, every great detective should have a great car, eh, Alfred? I'm simply pleased to see that your course in automotive repair was not for naught. Hard to believe that this was once Park Road's high society showplace. My mother was right. It's a crime how the politicians let it deteriorate. Louis the Lip, let's make a deal. I'll trade you the info in your head about the Knights for what's in my fist. Oh, man, you're that detective number 27, right? Word's already on the street about you. No trade. You can have anything I know. Free. Does that mean you look like Dick Tracy here?
Oh, yeah.
Louis spilled his guts. There's an Acura of Datura growing in Gotham's botanical garden. The Knights aren't onto it yet. If they were, this game would already be over. Let's check it out. Paper! Get your paper! Exclusive in tonight's Gotham Gazette! Police committed Gordon on mysterious cat burglaries! We'll take a paper, young man. And I have 2 cents right here. Oh, hey! Like, oops, sorry, I'm really clumsy. Whoa! Like, oh! Your little gang is busted, boys. Hey, let go, creep. You don't know who you're messing with. We're Robin's Hoods. Better amp straight, jerk. We're running for the Knights, and nobody messes us up. Well, the dim ones are Robin's Hood. Then that bird must be Robin. Ha!
Ha ha ha.
Hey, touch me in the Knights, or only thing worse than a punk is a stupid one. The Knights are using you, kid. They aren't local gangsters. They're a group of killers out to destroy the city. Says who? I'll lay it out for you, hotshot. Listen up. The tale is told, and gee, mister, we didn't know. They tricked us. I'm going to need your help in this, Robin. So his name is actually Robin.
Yeah, doesn't make the can be an original character whose name actually is Robin, and doesn't need to make this distinction if it's Dick, Jason, or Tim, or actually the split curl of the hair like that. It actually makes it more clear that it's probably Jason.
Yeah,
or it could be Jason.
I say, stop, ruffians. No, Alfred, let them go, sucker. I want Robin's Hood on the street. Hey, I had a hunch the kids would lead us to the Knights, Alfred, and it paid off. Now we know the Knights are somehow tied to the medical convention and at the Banderheads tonight. I'll be there in my new disguise. But Master Bruce, we agreed that when you join the Society of Detectives, there'd be no mystery man hijinks to distract. Alfred, relax. Detective 27 is the real me. From now on, it's Bruce Wayne who will be the role I play. So he's taking the idea of giving up their name literally. I like that.
Oh.
I think I can maneuver more effectively in Gotham if Gotham will buy me as the Playboy heir to the family fortune, who just returned after studying abroad for years. I always knew you loved Zorro, but couldn't you be a bit more original? Come on, Alfred, let's crash this party.
It's gonna be good.
And so, based on my long-term research into drugs and nerve gases, I can predict a generation of new drugs and gases that will control people's fear and paranoia, and do so without side effects. Bingo, our leading suspect, right off the bat. Why, Dr. Pennyworth, Alfred, Dr. Pennyworth. So nice to see you again. Oops.
Is that
Hugo Strange?
Hugo Strange.
Yep, that's Dr. Hugo Strange, was my genetics professor at med school. Positively brilliant, but most eccentric. Here's the new plan. You introduce me to Mr. Strange. I'll offer him some huge Wayne Foundation research grant to worm my way into his confidence, and if it's the cat burglar. Ladies, I want your jewelry. All of it. Right now. And I want no resistance or the good doctor buys the farm. Oh, and one more thing. Meow. Please don't kill me, cat lady. I have so much money to live for. Well, get off me. Let go of me or I'll break my legs. Ha! please, mercy. What are you? Hey, ow! Please don't hurt me, kitty cat. It's Catwoman, moron. And get off me the second, or I swear you'll never have children. Woof! Okay. For once, one of the times Bruce playing it on stick, it's hilariously effective.
Yeah, that's
He's really hamming it up, but it worked. It kind of has to, though, if he's being full true disguise.
Ooh.
Good God, that woman's insane. I feel faint. I need some air. God, she's fast. Ditched her costume and probably double back, passing as a guest. And where the hell's Alfred? Did he get Dr. Strange to safety, or to preserve our one lead, or to help his mentor escape? Again, I like how their lead is up with Alfred. Like, oh, Bruce, I was so worried about you. Did she hurt you? Look at it. Just stick close to me. Dr. Strange is safe outside. Shall we tail him? Pull the car around. Let's take care of some unfinished business first. Excuse me, ladies, but duty calls. There's an elderly woman over there. Looks like she could use a hand. Boy Scout, Pop. Madam, let me help you. Are you all right? You seem a little unsteady. Actually, I do feel ill and need to go home. Too much excitement, I imagine. Let me carry your purse. That's a big bag for you to manage. Thank you. It's nice to know that chivalry isn't dead, Mr. Wayne. Bruce Wayne. And here's my car and driver. I insist you let Alfred drive you home. Unless you have your own car and driver here. No, I don't. Thank you, Mr. Wayne. You're such a gentleman. At least this way I know you're taken care of. How sweet. May I have my bag, please, Mr. Wayne? No way! Oh, what are you doing? Stop, please. Give me my purse back. Let me out of here. Have you gone mad? Ah, you're hurting me. Someone help. Please, driver, for the love of God, help. He's killing me. Hello, Catwoman, and goodbye. Alfred, drive this most wanted woman to police headquarters and take this purse with you. Judging by its weight, I'm betting you'll find tonight's stolen jewelry. Go! A little something to remember me by, Mr. Wayne. Until next time, you interfere with a stakeout here tonight. That could result in thousands of deaths. Save your sob story. I couldn't care less. Just tell me how you saw through my disguise. I thought it was perfect. There isn't an old lady on earth with drop-dead, gorgeous legs like yours. Not many young ladies even, as a matter of fact. You're a charming liar, just like your butler. Next catfight, Mr. Wayne, you're dead. Now that is a woman. Okay, I can see what he means.
Yeah, they covered the face, but
the legs are.
The arms can probably be covered by the shroud or what's the.
But you can still see them, and they're still knockout legs.
Yeah, because like before the recording, I was washing carpet. I went to carpet washing, and most people there are people in certain ages, and compare like some age women I saw there and some younger women. That's pretty much, you can tell that genuinely would look like that, but not like this.
Yeah, but again, I like this. I really like this with him and Selina here.
That's pretty much like what was in the original Catwoman's first appearance. That Tom King also made an effort to canonize in his run.
I gotta say, I get what Tom King was going for. He was trying to go for that middle of the road of like, she's not a pure good, but she's not pure evil, but she's evil and a bad girl enough that trying to make her good won't always stick.
Yes, and then there's also the fact that everything that also came in the whole miniseries that he would try to finish up his story. It's just you cannot convince me that version of Catwoman ever loved Bruce.
I think she did, but not as much as he loved her. But she did know he needed her. That's what I felt. I felt that she cared enough that she sacrificed her life to have him be happy and feel fulfilled. That's what it felt like to me. And I gotta say, that's an interesting, complex woman. But anyway, I missed something here. Why did she call Alfred a charming liar? He didn't say one word to her. What good? Strange. He's making his move. He has no idea I'm following him. Same way the kids led me to Strange just may lead me to the king of the night. This is pure textbook surveillance. I bet he... Damn! Only one possible reason you're tailing me, Mr. Wayne. We truly thought it would be impossible for you to find out. You forced our hand. Now we have to finish the job. Finish? There's a city of Wayne's long predestined fate. So you'll have to excuse me. Good evening, Mr. Wayne, and goodbye. Hey, hey! Why is he standing funny like that? Maybe he's gonna dance for us. Woo! Oh, stand still! Oh! You hear that? The Knights duped us. That Wayne guy's on the level. Yeah, they'll level him all right. He's got the move, but they got the numbers. Hey, he's good. Come on, guys. Payback time. Geronimo! And comrade! Last chance before lights out. It's Strange, the head of the Knights of the Golden Circle. Where's this nerve center? Where are they hiding? What's the big secret? Sure, Strange calls the shot. He operates out of the med school. Got his office there and everything. Some big shot detective you are. Could have just looked at the phone book, chump. I get it now. There's some kind of war going on, right? The city's really in some big trouble. We want to help, Wayne. Sorry, kid. You can't have kids hanging around when what? You ain't even got the smarts to stay out of a blind alley, pal. You need us more than we need you. You'll never have better eyes and ears on the street than us. What do you say, Wayne? If that's who you really who you are, it's not. I'm Detective Number 27. Keen, like Operative 5 or Secret Agent X9, my favorite pulp and comic strip. What are you boys? You're the good guys now. And what about you boys? You're the good guys now. Can't even call yourself hoods. Nah, this is a war against the Knights, right? So now we're your boy commandos. This is a nightmare. My mentor is the power behind the Knights of the Golden Circle. And they have the audacity to use the medical school endowed by your father as their layer. That's the bad news, Alfred. The good news, I'm ashamed to admit, is that this all puts to rest a few doubts I was harboring about your loyalty. I apologize for that. You need never apologize to me, Master Bruce. And Alfred, you're a Scotland Yard detective and a practicing forensics pathologist. So cut the Master Bruce baloney. It's Bruce. And teach me the lousy secret society handshake, huh? I'd advise against the master front door, Master Bruce. Another smashing suggestion, Alfred. Grab the grappling hook from the back seat. Bruce, you know Dr. Strange was reprimanded by the med school board for more than once for its unauthorized experiment on controlling behavior through a combination of drug and nerve gases. Your point? If he's using some mutated form of datura, any spore exposure could severely damage your nervous system or kill you. That's why you stay out here. You're the only backup I have. Anything goes wrong, call in the Secret Society. I believe they're off burning a field of datura, but I'll keep that in mind. Wayne, you cheated death again! As you're as insane as that paper hanger in Berlin. And we'll see who's really the insane one here. Bunsen burner, a little handy tool of science. Must stop underestimating him. Stupid mistake to make twice. You, grab him. Don't let him get away. What? Please, that man's a criminal. Jonathan, this is the Wayne boy. He's been traumatized for 10 years after witnessing his parents' murder. Yeah. Jonathan Crane!
Yes.
Today,
I kind of think about that. This is a med school in Gotham, so yeah, Scarecrow is bound to be here too.
Tonight, he inhaled spores from the doctor I was experimenting with his illusions. A pity, Hugo. A tragedy. He's lying. Just hold him there and I'll prove it to you. Please stay calm, Mr. Wayne. I believe you. He can't stay tall, Professor Crane. He's consumed by paralyzing fear. Isn't that true, Mr. Wayne? No, and blackout. Good evening, Mr. Wayne. I hope your experience with the mildest form of torture was not too unpleasant. Unfortunately, you've become a nuisance, jeopardizing 75 years of planning and scientific work. Dr. Strange and I both feel that the one thing you deserve under the circumstances is an explanation. Deserve? What circumstances? We joined Gotham Med years ago to tap its funding and advanced equipment for our mind-altering experiments that induced the extreme paranoia in our volunteers. I witnessed the autopsies of several of your volunteers. We're knights of the Golden Circle, executing Professor Carr's doomsday plan of 1864, controlling people with their own fear, thereby extinguishing their freedom of choice. Carr knew a population fear could destroy an entire city. Now we'll help him reach out from the grave, on the most ironic day of all, empowering the South to rise again. After 75 years, the Knights are ready. Gotham fall first. For the North, it's the end of life, liberty, and the pursuit of sanity. For men of science, you're both stupid beyond belief. Measure your words, Mr. Way. We're under no obligation to make your deaths either quick or painless. Your minds are poison, Professor, and neither of you see it. At first, I figured you sold out for the fortune they meant to pay you. Then I realized you're exhibiting classical signs of paranoia yourself. Your own daughter-toxin must seep through your pores. You're both delusional. If you could just reason, and you could just reason, don't think we're blind to your little secret society either. We've outfoxed it for 75 years. You'll remain a guest in this padded cell in our own psycho ward until we determine your value as a bargaining chip. That should take 2 hours. Then we'll be back for your Datura overdose. Meanwhile, I'll leave you with a final question to ponder. This was Professor Carr's little tradition whenever a victim was about to die of fear. How does it go? Oh, yes. Did you ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight? Those same words. What could they mean? What's the connection to my parents' murder? Let's get out of here. My mentor in the Orient taught me Houdini's straitjacket escape. Never thought I'd actually use it in real life. And he taught me another trick. If I just tear off this shiny buckle, I still think of this as hyper-hypnosis clouding men's mind. Always sounded like a weather report. Hey, fat boy, I'm tulling out of here. I'll tell your boss and tell your bosses I had a skidoo. Huh? The toxin made you nuts, though, Mac. There's no way you could tunnel. Hey, where'd you go? It's impossible. He's gone. And holy hat, it worked for real. I hypnotized him into not seeing me. And those long hours I spent practicing pressure points, worth it. He collapsed in a heap. Now to test my disguise skills. Never should have cut so many classes. That explains how he got so many classes out.
Huh.
I found it, Bruce. Look at this book. The phrase is a twisted version of Joe Miller's punchline from the 1800s. So that's where the line came from.
Oh.
Only my father would have a 100-year-old joke book in his collection. Could be our break. Then Dancing with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight is an oblique reference to using hallucinogenic devil's thorn and devil's backbone, which blossoms only at night, are pollinated by bats and induce deadly fears through their crossbreed toxin. The Society knows from Detective Number 4's work with Gregor Mendel cannot be controverted. This catchphrase is indeed a signature of the Doomsday Plot. But how in hell does that tie to my parents' deaths? Professor Crane was holding a book of essays, Sigmund Freud's theory of sexuality, jokes, and the relation to the unconscious. My dad had a complete set of his work on the top shelf, so I couldn't reach it. Perhaps you're starting to read a bit too much into all of this. Funny, that's the one book missing from the set. Curiouser and curiouser. Perhaps if we both have a decent night's sleep, we'll be able to think more fresh in the morning. Makes sense to me. Let's power down the cave. And Alfred, find out if Dr. Freud is still lecturing in New York. I'll make the call first thing in the morning. Really know that Professor Crane and Dr. Strange are the current culprits behind the Knights of the Golden Circle, and we know they've gone into hiding. And we also know their plot is based on using a plant toxin crossbred for 75 years for the sole purpose of wiping out a huge number of people in a contained area by manipulating their fear and panic to cause massive death and destruction. And it will happen this year on a day that Josiah Carr foresaw his South rising again. If, as Crane told you, it's planned for the most ironic day of all, that would most likely be the 4th of July. But where? So many people at one time in a limited area, open enough for the winds to carry the toxin, closed enough to box them in to prevent escape. Probable it's targeting city and government officials too. July 4th. Gotham's Yankee Doodle Stadium. It must hold at least 70,000 people. July 4th, Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Alfred, you realize what this means? I most certainly do, Bruce. The game is afoot. But yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, so what do you think? Again, what do you think about this plot?
It almost like it was doing some good job in retelling some of the early Batman stories.
But differently.
And retelling some events.
It's really quite charming, acknowledging the young Bat Boys and Bat Girls on Bat Day. Nothing in England compares with this. They're also honoring the players from the very first All-Star games back in '33. It's part of the diamond anniversary of the first ball game ever played in Gotham. Each original All-Star will be given a diamond ring. A diamond each man on their baseball diamond. Jolly good. Time to get serious. Is the rest of the society here? Look, Alfred, number 3. That's the Sultan of SWAT himself. It's Babe Ruth. I'm thrilled, truly. Every ally we could muster is present. Security could not be tighter. Come on, boys, take the field for the ring ceremony. Let's go. Hey, Alfred, that catcher looks funny to you. A she, and what a she. Why would diamonds a catcher? Not here, not now. Wait, oop. You've seen you've been my hero since I was a kid. I'm so excited. May I please have your autograph? Are you crazy? Get off of me. You! Oh, you're here to play baseball to snag some diamond. Only thing I can think of right now, Mr. Wayne, is smashing a couple of balls over the right field fence. Oh! Meaning getting his balls!
Huh.
Oh, woof! You have a knack for turning up at the wrong place at the wrong time. And speaking of things getting wrong, what did you mean that night calling Alfred a charming liar? As if you didn't know. I don't know anything. My parents were murdered when I was 12, and I've been overseas ever since. What do you know about Alfred that I don't? We've all got problems, Bruce. I was a trouble kid, too. Your father was my family doctor. He hired me to work after school. You know, trying to get me on the right path. My job was gopher, picking up and delivering medical supplies for his office. Every day after school, Alfred would have a new package for me to drop off to the med school. But a week later, I started feeling scared, paranoid, and fell into worse trouble. I asked Alfred what was in these packages. He said they were safe, but something was affecting me. He was a charming liar, and I suffered for it. I was afraid to quit, but when I finally did, Alfred was furious. I ran away from him and from Gotham Academy, thinking it was my only chance to survive. Wait a minute. Gotham Academy? I went there too. God, Bruce, don't think too hard because you're obviously not equipped for it. I'm Selina. Selina? Selina Schwartz? No, Kyle. You're Selina Kyle. You win the QP doll, Sherlock. Now get the hell off of me. Interesting.
Interestingly, also framed so that it didn't cause. He actually didn't cause a scene.
Yeah. Probably because everyone's so focused on the game. But everyone's in place. Nothing to report yet. You resolved things with the young lady, I suppose. I told her I was Detective 27. Revealed what I knew about the Doomsday plot. Asked for her help, then let her go so she could slip into something more comfortable. I see Travis, the other society members, Robin and his boy Commandos. Selina, someone's going to spot something if the Knights make their move. Wait a tick, there's something odd. The baseball that kid gave the up. That's not Major League regulation cross-stitching on them, meaning tamper-with and re-sewn. Most probable deduction. And if it's the Knights, it's because the baseball contained the crossbred toxin. When a batter hits the ball hard enough, it'll tear open. All the people will be, oh no! That'll lead to trampling and thousands of people dead. Play ball! Strike! Jeez, almost bought the farm. Stop! Get off the playing field, jerk! Umpire, those baseball are toxic bombs loaded with poison. One crack of a ball and we're dead. It's Wayne. You told me he was neutralized. Robin came in and confirmed to me they had him bound and gagged in the school morgue, and we paid him a bundle, lousy punk. Ha! After him, all of you, rub him out. We can't let him stop our plan, even if it costs us our own life. You and I need to move on to Plan B now, just in case. I screwed up. Left before I looked. Now I have to have half the stadium charging me while one more pitch and this whole place goes to hell in a handbasket. I don't have a prayer. Hey, you, catch! Hey, babe! Thanks. I owe you big time. And he's a Batman.
Yeah, this is actually kind of shame because we talked about that there was that fan film where it was a.
And I found it. I did find that. Yeah. And it was also sorry.
Yeah, it's also kind of shameful because it's one word that can mean two things in English. But this could be never translated to anything because in Finnish it would translate from lepakkomies to mailamies. Yep,
too many. I'm done for. If what you said about those baseballs is true, we better knock a few of these rubes out of the park. And if you're just some lunatic, Well, I'll be spending my retirement in jail for attempted manslaughter. It's all true, but I'm getting tired, and they'll just keep coming. Sorry I got you into this, babe. Hey, I always wondered how David Crockett felt at the Alamo. Hang on, number 27. Here come the boy commandos. Woohoo! I'll secure the baseballs, master. Don't worry. At last, the cavalry. Aha! It's only a dame. Oh, please, one more stupid lug trapped in the 20s. Let me teach you about Susan B. Anthony while I pound you in the salt mash, lunkhead.
Uh-huh.
Catwoman? No, Alfred. Selina. Good God, child, Foomp! Hey! You swing a hell of a stick for a civilian, my friend. Gonna have to start calling you the Batman. That's quite an honor coming from the Sultan of SWAT himself. Well, you can be my SWAT team anytime. Ha! I'm Babe Ruth, and you? You can call me Detective 27. No real names, huh? Okay, then. You can call me All-Star number 3. Behind you. What? You may know everything about detective work, detective, but you got a long way to go before you know anything about women. Whoa, who was that? I think that's my new girlfriend. Ha! Cat's out of the bag now. Sorry. And please thank Commissioner Goring for his cooperation with us in this operation. You gentlemen have been superb. Alfred, I've cleared you with the authorities. You'll not be detained or questioned. Each toxic baseball has been accounted for and is being transported to a secure government facility. Alfred, thank you. You've done a great job, been a great partner. I have to admit I harbored suspicions about you based on the most inferior circumstantial evidence. By doubting your loyalty, I only proved my disloyalty to you. It's all just a part of growing up process, Bruce. The growing together process. Sometimes close relatives squabble and doubt each other. None of that matters. You and I, we're family. Hey, kid, what do you think? Crane was going to just let you live after screwing up Plan A? You detectives are done in. The jig is up for you Knights. It's over. Kill us and you'll never make it out of the stadium alive. It's wall-to-wall police. Sorry, boys, but it's taken me 10 years to finally get the all clear to shoot the kid, and I don't plan on blowing an opportunity. I'm what you call a completionist. Happy joke needs its punchline. Who are you? The joke's on you, pal. You'll never know. Let me just ask you one question. Did you ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight? That night, it's you, the killer of my parents! Alfred gets shot. Alfred, no! Not you too! Boom! Alfred, hang on, I'll get help. It's my shoulder. I'll live. Oh. My cricket days may well be over. Tend to those two first, Bruce. I'll be fine. You, I want answers right now or I'll tell you apart with my bare hand. Why my parents? Why not me? We're created strange behind the murders. Back up, Wade. No more. I'll spill. Crane gave us the order. The murder was needed to advance the doomsday plan. It was to seem like a random burglary gone wrong, man. We had real clear instructions. I was to shoot the doc. Chill was to shoot the missus. And both of us were warned. Oh, it's Jack Napier and Joe Chill together.
Yeah, that's...
I always felt that he was the other guy with Jack in the movie.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. That's what most people think.
They just never named him, but I always felt that was Joe.
Yeah, too young. Yeah, by the time code and depending on the actor, they couldn't make that be.
Yeah. But yeah, come on, Jack. But yeah, and both of us were warned. Leave the kid alone. Crane said to ask that question. It's some nice tradition. I don't even know what it means. It makes no sense. Why let me live? You were leaving an eyewitness to murder. I don't know. Maybe Crane didn't want to ice the kid. Right. Except for maybe 30,000 of them here at the stadium today. Hogwash. Where is he? Strange too. So on their way to the New York's World Fair, National Cash Register Babylon. Swear to God. Bruce, I forgot to tell you about the cable. Dr. Freud's doing New York to the Astro Hotel. Alfred, these two, and book these two, Alfred. The book Freud, and then book Freud for tomorrow, for breakfast tomorrow at 8. It's time for some answers. Your dedication based upon the facts, as well as my theory of joke and the unconscious are quite sound, detective. And meaning what, Dr. Freud? If what you said is true, I can conclude Joshua Carr was obsessed with his predilection for jokes and the sheer irony of tying events of death and the sadness to his twisted punchline. So we have two joke. We have Joshua Carr was one joker, and then we have Jack Napier.
Two
Interesting.
3 jokers.
Yeah. And now Jonathan Crane and Hugo Strain are two copycats, equally warped with some compelling need to emulate Carr's mindset in order to execute his plan of attack. Yes, except Carr's joke was to be on the Norse. However, it's obvious to me that Crane and Strange have made it personal. Their final joke may yet be on you, detective. Be alert. I can handle the jokes, Doctor, just not the doctor and the fear it sparks. Fear is a response, sir, whether real or falsely perceived. A strong mind sharply focused on the reality of the situation will conquer any irrational fear, despite the effects of the drug or toxin impact the nervous system, which is what Batman usually does. Thank you for your help. You knew you might be placing your life in jeopardy by meeting with me, and I plan to remain alive long enough to analyze the trauma you suffered by witnessing your parents' murder as a child. Fascinating. I'm confounded it hasn't resulted in serious schizophrenic tendencies. You most certainly puzzle me, detective, indeed. Oh, and as mayor of New York, it is my great honor to introduce the President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Thank you, Mayor LaGuardia. I'm delighted to be back in the World's Fair to honor a new kind of American hero, a role model for our children and an inspiration to our servicemen. He's an ideal for people everywhere who believe in truth, justice, and the American way. He's Superman. That fellow should be pitied, not costumed and paraded before these gawkers like some Todd Browning freak of nature. I have to search fast. If they spot me before I spot them, the daughter of spores are going to fly. A vault, the most obvious place to store 75 generations of crossbred toxins. If I can just, oh no! Think you're like an attack dog, refusing to unclench its teeth from its quarry's leg, Detective 27. And how nice for us that airborne spores are heavy enough to drift downward. How equally sad for you. Must do what Freud said. Fight from within. Confront the fear. Oppress it. And don't repress it. Repress it. But if I want to learn the truth behind my parents' murder, I have to. And right now, taking the high ground should help me beat this fear. Bingo! Here it is. The night storage facility for every generation of toxin. Damn, they took generation 25, the super toxin. Minus what they loaded into the baseballs, there's still enough left to spring on 3 more cities. Freud was right. The power of the mind is incredible. I beamed back the fear. Oh, what does this look like?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm pointing.
Yep, time to do the same to create a strain. How? How did you neutralize the toxin? Impossible. Hardly. And if I can counter it, so can everyone else in the city. Not only is your 75-year-old plan flawed, it's over. Why did you have Chill and Napier kill Martha and Thomas Wayne? Answer me. You think we don't know who you are? We know everything about you, and you know nothing about us. Chill told us your mother screamed. Are you going to scream too? Oh, you two did give the orders. I knew it. You're dead, man. No, stay back. Stay back or I'll... Ah! Give me the box with the 75th toxin, Crane, or you're next. I don't have it. I already gave it to to my superior. You're simply too late. No way. You were a key doctor recruited by the Knights to execute their plan. You've given all the orders since 1929 at least. Admit it. No, please stop, please. I'll tell the truth. Then talk. You think you're so smart. A great detective. Detective the 27th. Well, it's not simple. It's not simply that the joke's on you. You are the joke itself. I'll be satisfied just to see your face when I tell you. Tell me what? Blam! Are you ready to face the worst fear you could possibly imagine, Bruce Wayne? Toxin 75. Or maybe the ghost of Joshua Carr. No, something real. Something older, more horrific. I like how for a moment you think it's Alfred. For a moment you think it's Alfred. Something older, more... It's not, though. Something older, more horrific, because it's inescapable. I guess Crane gave it to me straight about the knife. There is a power behind the power. You and that make you King Arthur. You see our conflict as modern day jousting, and don't you? Do you envision yourself as some noble dark knight detective? Well, perhaps for a lasting nightmare, Bruce. One even more traumatic, perhaps, than watching Joe kill your mother. Let me jog your memory. You had 2 lackeys, Chill and Napier, gunned down both my parents in front of my eye. I was 12. Then you ordered them to let me live. Nothing more of a nightmare than that. Didn't anyone ever teach you not to be so certain about life? And here I always assumed you'd be bright as me, son. Bum, bum, bum! It was Thomas! Which, to be fair, the tip-off was there with Selina's backstory. Would you agree, given how she was carrying the stuff for Thomas and started to feel the fear?
Yeah, it's like a...
But how's this for a twist?
Well, it was an original twist back then. Yeah. After Telltale and Earth 2 and...
Well, even Telltale, he was wicked, but not completely evil. Well, yeah, can't. I'm afraid, Alfred. I hope Alfred at least taught you not to judge people, Bruce. I did have compelling reason to do what I did. The knights recruited me through my mentor in medicine. There was no empty promises, only satchels of negotiable instruments, bearer bonds, and gold bullion. I quickly rose to the ranks of the doctors and professors, compromising the conspirators in their doomsday plan. Perhaps my well-deserved ego was a factor in my ascendancy to power. I channeled massive funding to increase the technology of the med school. It was the only way we could synthesize the crossbred toxin in time to fulfill the plan and do so undercover. Building for the future, the new Gotham City, yep. The money and the technology continue to attract the brightest mind to our causes. Oh, maybe aided from time to time by some carefully controlled fear induction. They never knew what hit them. We had a zero refusal rate to our recruitment effort. Laundering money through the med school, I always feared detection. Instead, the deluded bureaucrat named the damn place for me and made me their man of the year. Even after my death, I continued moving money from supposedly untouchable state trusts and into the Knights' coffers. Yes, sir.
That's why the funds were so depleted.
Yep. And Alfred had no clue. Those funds will be diverted and untraceable. My usual fee, credit to the Munich account. Excellent. My God, Dad, it really is you. But I saw you die. Mom is mom. Is mom? No, this isn't some Frank Capra movie. I'm the head of the Knights of the Golden Circle. I'm your enemy. I don't understand. I have so many questions. How'd you survive the shooting? And Selina Kyle, did you? Selina Kyle? What's that right have to do with anything? I used her as a runner to deliver toxins in the night. She was perfect, not at all suspicious, very expendable. And I didn't survive the shooting. I orchestrated it. No, you didn't. You just admitted the Knights used toxins to recruit people. That's what they've done to you. They've impaired your minds through fear induction. You don't realize. Face reality, Bruce. I arranged my own murder so I could conveniently disappear from public view and entirely devote myself to carry out the doomsday plan. I had to sacrifice Martha. She was smart and getting close to figuring out my double life. She'd never have stood for it. Napier was to shoot me since his gun had the blanks. I instructed Chill to shoot only Martha. His rod had the live ammo. The first two cops in the scene on the Knight's payroll. 2 nights later, the patrol car crashed, killing them. Bad breaks, I heard. The coroner, a member of the Golden Circle. We didn't miss a trick. Napier had my name on a bullet. You protected me. Saved me, Dad. You had to live, Bruce. I needed an unquestionable, definitive witness who could testify that his father was killed in front of his eyes. You were the perfect witness, the perfect victim. You made my life easy. You let me live so I could be your unwitting alibi? I made your life easy. You gave my life only to turn it into an eternal hell. My innocent mother, the moral one, was coldly murdered by you as if you pulled the trigger yourself. If you're planning to shoot me, better do it right now, or else I'm about to avenge my mother and kill you. Can't do it. Just can't. Allow me. Someone's got to teach you how to win. Guess this is where I finally get to play father. Like he's good, very good. I don't think I could stop him. He's still my flesh and blood. I don't want to kill him, but if it's him or my work, I have to choose my work. Enough. No, okay, I do like that for when we actually go into his head.
Yeah, and Hitler's taas on that.
Yeah, I made a vow on my mother's grave to get the murderer. Now, God help me, it means bringing my father to justice. Yet it's the only way to honor that vow. Like, you didn't consider the consequence of your actions, son. You leave me no choice. Failure is not an option. Dad, you have to think clearly, okay? You can't just let those spores loose on the president. If some country should make a move against America, a fear-stricken FDR could result in our defeat. Reason it out. Reason? The doomsday plan is my very ration d'etre, sonny boy. Ironic, you've been mine for the last 10 years. And there goes the president's last best chance of protection. Don't do it, Dad. He's desperate. I have to risk it. What? Like, and hold on to me. I won't let you go. Give me the bin and I'll pull you up. You know that is not going to happen. I won't let go. No. Carpe Knox. And Dr. Thomas Wayne, once again, is dead. He's gone.
So Superman doesn't have a super hearing.
Not if we're going by golden. Oh no, he's flying. So who knows? He's gone. Twice dead. This time at my hand. Fred was right in the end. The joke was on me. Bruce, thank God you're all right. And you? My shoulder would heal far more quickly than your heart, I'm afraid. I recognized him at once. I can't comprehend it. You must explain how. Alfred, there is no explanation. He was behind it all. He murdered my mother, murdered my soul. They're here to take me in. No, I still have my connection. You'll be questioned later. Consider it one of the benefits of the secret society of detectives. You did it, Bruce. You saved the 2 cities and the president. Not a bad day's work. I couldn't tell that guy. Was it really your father? Why don't we all contain our curiosity until later? This man needs rest. It was him, Lee. He decided his work and the power and money was worth more to him than the lives of his wife and child. I can't believe it was the same Thomas Wayne I knew. He was a demon. I choose to believe he was a victim. Greed, ego may have pulled him down, but the toxins, no matter how they were contained over the years, must have seeped through his pores, affected his mind. No, Dr. Thomas Wayne died in 1929. There'll be no record of a resurrection in 1939 to sully his good name. Have the secret society use it to influence to make certain of that. End of story? Yes, end of story. Detective number 27 also died today. The doomsday plot is over. There's no longer a reason for the secret society to exist. Open your eyes, Bruce. There's increasing fifth column activity in America. Hatred spewing from the bun. More than ever, this country needs you. The secret society, it needs heroes. Can one person really make a difference? Today, you're living proof of that, Bruce. Now just imagine 27 working in concert with 48 states working as one union. Young man, detective number 27, isn't it? Mr. President. Yes, sir. Your fellow detectives informed me of what was transpiring here today. Could have been a terrible blow to the American people. You sound like an Alan Pinkerton of the 20th century. Good work. My father was behind the plot. It was my responsibility to end his threat. I may have helped the country, but I'm afraid I failed to help him. And he so needed my help. Don't you be afraid. Not a failure. Not of anything. That's what keeps America strong. The only thing you have to fear, detective, is fear itself. I was 16 when I heard you say that over the radio. It gave me courage during some dark days, as it does again today. Words of wisdom from the president. And better teach me the secret handshake, 26. At the next meeting, 27. See you there. And don't forget to bring your orphan Andy decoder ring. Excellent decision, joining up and all that. Time for another one. Miss Kyle's anxiously awaiting your return to Gaza. My first real romance. Maybe a bit of a darker, kinkier side of romance, but romance nonetheless. She may be the Catwoman, but you, sir, are one lucky dog. I'm afraid because of you, Alfred. I am. Because of you, Alfred. You've been my father. You were always there for me. Gave me my direction in life. And now you're all the fame I have left to the world. My fellow detective. My son. You're a doctor. You speak Latin. I know carpe diem means seize the day. My father's last words to me were carpe knox. Seize the night. Why? What did he mean by that? Advice? A warning? One less punchline to challenge me? I don't know why he said that to you, Bruce, but I do know you have your whole life ahead of you to seek the answer. So, carpe knox, Detective 27. Carpe knox. And for Bruce Wayne and Dr. Alfred Pennyworth, Detective 27, Detective 25 respectively, a million possibilities lie ahead as a new night begins to fall on the city. And look at it, we have all these footnotes for the history stuff.
Joo.
So yeah, how was that?
Creative and fresh for the time when it was written.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought this was pretty fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just wow. There's so much to unpack about this, wouldn't you say? Like the fact that Bruce, even as a detective, is still just as skilled as ever. But yeah, the Thomas Wayne twist. That I didn't see coming when I first read this.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, the clues are there.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. That's actually helped. It's a good twist. Is something that if you read it through again and you see the clues pointing out,
You might think it's Alfred at first, especially here. For a moment, you think it's Alfred.
Yeah, the face is kind of different shape than Alfred. Same shape as Alfred and narrowing down there, but then the eyes are different from how Alfred is.
Yeah, definitely. But Alfred would have added up too, but because the Selina backstory was the big tip off. They could have been either Thomas or Alfred.
Yeah, and considering how, but then retroactively considering how Grant Morrison ended up doing Batman R.A.P.
Oh yeah, with
Dr. Hurt.
Yeah, Dr. Hurt. Yeah, but again, throughout all this is just so interesting. Of course, you would have Strange and Crane be the other ones involved. Of course, it would be those two.
Yeah, it's basically also some kind of remake of the Case of Chemical Syndicate.
The Chemical Syndicate, yeah, pretty much a long form take on it.
Not to mention there was one of the bad guys in that was someone called Crane.
Yeah, there was. You're right. But for Superman here was a bit superfluous. Let's be honest.
Because Superman exists, but it's kind of basically the whole thing that Superman is right in the earshot when they are fighting on the roof,
and you can't say it's because he's just, unless that was a leap. No, he's clearly flying, so it's not like he's at Golden Age powers. I love the baseball game. That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
This is where it felt like the big climax, and then we have the emotional climax.
Yeah.
We have Babe Ruth joining in, and this deserves an animated movie.
Yes, I agree. This would deserve some kind of adaptation to share it to the people too lazy to read.
Yeah, because this feels like this would fit very well. This is right up there with Gotham by Gaslight and Doom That Came to Gotham in its own way. This historical story, Elseworld.
Yeah, and if they would do into Spider-Verse kind of crossovers, if they with some proper creativity, having a Bruce Wayne who never became Batman and just be a captain, then working with the other Batman and obviously having the whole what makes me different from these guys other than the wardrobe decisions.
Yeah, exactly. But I gotta say, the Selina was interestingly handled here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and that was also, like we said, kind of somewhat tied to the first appearance that Tom King had.
Yeah. It was on a boat. It was on the ship, on the streets.
Yeah, and it be a diamond, and the old woman disguise.
Yep. I love that.
Just missing the stop or bubbles back.
I just love that. Especially a couple of balls over the right field fence.
Yeah.
You realize she missed.
Creative dialogue in that sense. I wonder how Michael Uslan wrote this in with his Batman rights at the movie rights holder. I wonder how long was he working on this story until it was
probably a while.
Finished product.
My guess it probably took him a while working on this one. That's why it probably came out so well. You know what I mean? Because Mike Carlin edited this book, so Carlin probably helped him out.
Yeah.
But I guess
probably went through a lot of different drafts until it was in its
as opposed to going out the first draft, yeah. But yeah, again, just so much of this was clever, and again, such fresh originality. Hold on, I gotta double check what's the other. Because I saw something on the TV trope page that made an interesting point about some of the other people we would see in here. Yeah, like there were some other people we would see reference. Hold on. Oh nope, it's everyone they just listed. That's all. Oh no, some of those other people there among them in the detective group include Sam Spade from or Philip Marlowe, the old detective. Or Hercule and basically so many of these other novels, writers or movie ones, like The Sin Man. Or Nero Wolfe, a bunch of old-fashioned, noir novel characters were all there.
As probably as heroes of other stories.
Yeah, all I gotta say, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde one was interesting. Him being involved, but it kind of makes some sense.
Yeah,
because he kind of fits in the place of Two-Face.
Yeah, in that sense. And
yeah, but what did you like best about this? Huh?
Full on the entire story narrative in being a close case. Not only that upper panel where the doorbell rings. It's kind of reminiscent of how Matt Wagner has been draws Lamont Cranston's face.
Yeah, definitely.
Comics.
Right. This is still. I just crack up at this. You know what I mean? Like stupid bird. And I love it. There's references, but it doesn't get bogged down in it. Would you agree with that? Like a lot of the references do not get bogged down too much. Or if they're there, they're clever. Like the Mr. Freeze being a kid nickname for Robert Frost.
You
know what I mean? Or seeing when he's being hallucinated by the doctor, he sees Crane as Scarecrow.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Or calling the Secret Society a Justice Society.
Considering we had Superman show up, then maybe those other heroes are there as heroes of their own stories.
Oh yeah, you're right. It says right here, the Catwoman dressing up as an old lady and recognizing her legs. That's a reference to it. But but I gotta say also, I'm impressed they actually made "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight" a significant line.
Yeah, wonder if Tim Burton and others who wrote the '89 movie came across it somewhere, and Michael Uslan then decided to.
Oh, he worked. Well, remember he was producing that movie, so he probably sat on it for a while and be like, "Okay, the line was stupid, but what if there was some meaning to the line?" You know what I mean? And I think that's what he probably went into. Probably wondering, like, that line was stupid. It was. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of random. It's kind of some line that makes you go, huh? So that you don't it doesn't register to you that you're being held at gunpoint, and then you're shot without and it takes you to while you're in the middle of processing it, you get shot and probably don't even realize that it's too late.
Yeah, I gotta say, I always felt like when Joker said that line to Bruce and he went, "What?" And he says, "I have to have all my prey." I just like the sound of it. My thoughts always going through Bruce's mind was, I've been wondering why he said that all this time. It was just because he liked the sound of it. God, you can imagine that went through Bruce's mind, right? Like, wait. But yeah, again, Catwoman fit in here, both as an aid and, again, connecting her backstory.
Yeah.
Again, so much of this worked. The Robin.
I've seen as a redhead in the car.
I think that's just a lighting thing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't match what we see. Yeah, I think that's what it'd be, just shading.
Yeah.
But boy, she looks a bit like an Alan Davis drawing right there. The face.
Yeah.
But again, you're those legs. But again, there's just so much here. And Michael Uslan doesn't do much comic writing usually. So seeing this, not bad for a guy who doesn't make it a regular thing. I'm not saying he doesn't write ever, but he does.
Maybe it's a whole thing that the quality takes time.
Yeah, definitely.
Wonder how long it took him to do this, and maybe have some other people to proofread it, give him ideas, and so on, until it became the finished product.
Exactly. Because I know he worked on the backup stories for Just Imagine Stan Lee. And he worked on some of the Spirit comics too. Yeah, according to this, he's mostly done a few issues of the Spirit, a couple of Batman Black and White, a couple of stuff with the Thunder Agents, and the Just Imagine Stan Lee stuff.
Huh.
That's all he's done. So, and the big ones were, of course, this and Just Imagine Stan Lee. So, for being one of his big, this was definitely his biggest comic work. For this being his biggest comic work, bravo, man. But yeah, I mean, yeah. And again, I'm just already picturing this as the anime movie, especially this scene here. This would be great animated.
Yeah. But
yeah, and then the big climax having to be Thomas Wayne and everything. I do think they dropped the Superman appearance. I do think they would drop that.
Yeah, that would be something they would.
Which I feel that's fine. That's fine. They might even condense Crane and Strange to one character. Again, I would see them do that.
Yeah, considering how maybe also in the final season of the Batman cartoon, they pretty much wanted. I think they wanted to use Scarecrow in there, but they couldn't because that embargo. Also with the zombie episode, yeah.
Yeah, but again, just so much, and again, everything got covered very well. Nothing about this felt off or bad. I wouldn't say it's still not perfect, but I would give it as a 9 out of 10, strong.
Yo.
And the artwork was incredible. Even some of the facial expressions, like, yeah, a little bulging in the eyes, but
yeah, the dialogue is also kind of hamming it up, but it a
little hamming, but it fits the noir tone. It fits the noir tone, and that's another thing. Thomas being in, that's very film noir. Would you agree with that? That is very film noir. Yeah. Because you either have someone die or something. In this case, that would be his father was the bad guy. That's a noir tragedy. Now, this whole bit was Thomas thinking here. That's the only insight we ever get into his mind. And I gotta say, I think this gives a bit more proof to what Bruce was thinking, that his father had been tainted by the spores. I think that's true.
It's something about making you think. Well, if you go through something without thinking, and then there's some moment of silence where your mind races and thinks for itself.
Because yeah, exactly. And for all we know, the spores could have been what led Selina down her path. Just not as bad, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, just look at how Thomas looks here. I think this is a man who's doped, who's been on the spores for so long, mixed in with his ego and greed. And I think this thought is his mind clearing for a moment. Although, but it's so weird. It's just these 3 panels. That's all we get from his inner mind.
Yes, and the rest is just based on his actions.
Exactly, and then him giving those last words. I don't like it though. Using his jacket almost like the batarang, wrapping around batarang.
Yeah, would that work?
Yeah, it can. If you do it, but you have to do it just right, and there has to be no wind up there. But yeah, that again, just
it probably didn't tie up. It was more served as a distraction than a proper tying up.
Yep, but now this moment, oh boy, just look at that. That is great with the artwork. Just the stare down and everything. And how Thomas just lets himself. Although that's a little goofy.
Yeah. He fell on his.
They fell into yeah.
Like in a position like
yeah, like that. But yeah, it's a little cartoonish looking, but it fits. And Dr. Thomas Wayne once again is dead. But yeah, like I said, just strong, fresh, really good. And like I said, look at all this. All this stuff here really shows you how really well thought out it was. Yeah, 16th Abraham Lincoln, about Pinkerton and everything. the volatile wife of Abraham Lincoln. Henry Rathbone and Carla Harris, the engaged couple invited to join them. Again, just so, and those are just the first few pages. And about the chair being at the Henry Ford Museum, one of the boats, the experiment in plant hybridization would lead to a new world understanding of genetic medic. But yeah, Mendel's work was published in 1866, but received no attention until 1900. Joe Miller's book was the first English language joke book. Of course, Charles Darwin. Kate Warren. Mrs. Warren joined the Pinkerton Detective Agency, became the first female detective in the U.S. She moved on to the U.S. Secret Service. Really? Moving out the Southern Belle to gain information on Confederate troop movements. Wow!
Ooh.
William Pinkerton, son of Alan Pinkerton, recruited at the age of 16 to join its Fox Detective Agency and Secret Service with an effective undercover operative, spy, and field agent. After his father's death, him and his brother Robert ran the agency. Wow, I did. Oh, Roosevelt was the president in 1884, was the 26-year-old member of the New York State Assembly and chairman of the Committee on Cities. His first child had been born, and his wife and mother had both died on February 14th of the same year. Talk about the Statue of Liberty. Polo was out and baseball was in. Old Soup was a hugely popular dime novel detective. Ooh, the Celtic, one of the great ships of the White Star Line. Oh, yep. Teddy Roosevelt would in fact be appointed police commissioner in New York by Mayor Strong in 1895. Wow. Again, you look at this history stuff, it's like, no wonder he connected the history to all this stuff. Some of this stuff writes itself.
It's all.
Lobster Renberg was created. Just talking a bit about that.
This is pretty much. This is like more or less what the Assassin's Creed games were all with the historical fiction.
Yeah. Oh, Ginger Snap with a comic created by Bob Cade, which debuted in More Fun Comics in 1938. Brought the world. 1934 brought the world the pulp magazine Operator Number 5 and Secret Agent X9. They were actually created one, and that second one was created by former Pinkerton detective. Wow! Paper hanger in Berlin means Hitler, of course. Babe Ruth, obviously. Hotel Astor was a place for the elite. The Astor bar was a famous hangout. Oh, yep, the 39 World's Fair.
Ooh.
Again, just looking over all of this, you're just like, what?
Yeah, so much.
Yeah, just you look at all of this, and it's just like, again, so much of it writes itself when you actually look into this stuff. Like Kate Warren. The fact you're like, wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Now I can already picture someone fictionalizing her history as a super secret agent.
Yeah. Truth is sometimes stranger than fiction.
Yeah, things like that. You're just like, what? And I'm just looking at all this. It's just like, duh. And again, Teddy Roosevelt was appointed police commissioner, explains his tough attitude. But again, now we want this. I think this bumps it up to a 10 just knowing these facts.
Yo.
Yeah, well, you agree with that? Like, this bumps it up for just knowing just how much of this was not just pulled out of his ass. Like, no, I mean, I knew there was some connection to reality. I didn't realize it was this much. Like, I mean, I had a feeling, for example, that Kate Warren was real, but I didn't realize that this was that much on the nose. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it, and it's very progressive for its day. But then, again, it's stuff like this that always opens my mind, my eyes wide when I'm like, wait, things were way more under the radar progressive than we thought.
Yeah, it's inspired or made so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just wow.
like,
Okay, but yeah, so that was Detective number 27. I gotta say, it's becoming now one of in my top 10 favorite Elseworlds.
yo.
Not I close the top 5, but not there fully. But
Yo.
yeah. Thank you very much for joining me in this one, Pika. Thank you, everyone else. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
And
Take care.
may your heart be your guiding key.
Yep.